My honorable brothers and my honorable sisters, this ending on the end of the holy month of Ramadan, we have heard many reminders in Jum'ah, outside of Jum'ah, and many of you will have heard talks, be it on YouTube, online, on Spotify, or wherever it may be. The reminder is there again and again. However, there are many of us, we will listen to the reminder, it will only stay for a short while, or for many people, they will listen to the ayats, and they will then turn a blind eye to the ayats. For those of us who have been standing in a qiyam by night and listening to the recitation of the Quran, we will acknowledge many times where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the reminder in the Holy Quran, and we have listened to that reminder throughout the holy month. How Allah reminds us of our final abode of the akhirah, and Allah warns against those people who have heard the ayats and yet again they give a blind eye to the ayats. Ayats referring to the reminder of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's Quran, and of course that of the message of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. You will know and I will know. There will be many who will not make the effort that you may have made, will give a complete blind eye with every excuse of the book, like the munafiqun of Medina. The munafiqun of Medina, when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would leave the city for expeditions of jihad, they would make every excuse in the book. To the extent they would say to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, we are worried about our family and our children. We are worried about our homes. We are worried about this. We are worried about that. And Allah revealed verses of the Quran rejecting their claim, saying they are making flimsy excuses. Today we see ourselves sadly in situations, except for the many good of us, but we see a sad situation, we will make every flimsy excuse in the book. We know deep in our hearts, as the Quran testifies to the rejectors, that they know deep within the truth. However, they cannot stand up to that truth. They cannot take in that reality. So we will know ourselves. There are so many opportunities we find. However, we give the blind eye to that situation. You will say many a times, how come? How come there are people out there who claim to be Muslim? So remember, the rulings and these situations are not for those who are not Muslim. For those who do not have Tawheed, who do not have the oneness of Allah, the ahkam of Sharia are not binding upon them. We believe, this is our aqidah, that for them, there is no salvation. For them, there is no Jannah. Leave aside Jannah, they will not even be able to smell the fragrance of Jannah. Leave aside, go to Jannah and see Jannah. Because they do not have the foundation of Tawheed and the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the ruling of ahkam is not even upon them. On Yawm al-Qiyamah, they will have no situation to account for, because they had no foundation, they did not have the core, and as a result of which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not enter them into His salvation. Rather, the Quran mentions the people of Jahannam will call out to the people of Jannah, and they will say, but so the people of Jannah will call out to the people of Jahannam, and they will say that, have you found the situation to be true? And the people of Jahannam, they will acknowledge, and the people of Jannah will also acknowledge, and the people of Jannah will say that we found the wa'd of our Lord, the promise of our Lord to be true. Our Lord promised that if we made an effort in this world, a short life of 50, 60 years, fasting the holy month of Ramadan, going hungry by day, standing in qiyam by night, and really amongst the traits of the people of Jannah is what we will see now in these last 10 days of Ramadan. You come to the masjid, you will find mu'mineen lying around in the masjid, sleeping, in i'tikaf, in taharri, in finding Laylatul Qadr. These are amongst the signs of the true mu'mineen. Eyes are tired, having to wake up 7:30, 8 in the morning to go to work, backs hurting, legs hurting, feeling tired, feeling exhausted. Because why? They have spent the whole night in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For them, these are the signs of the people of Jannah. Ultimately, these people, they will testify on Yawm al-Qiyamah that we found the promise of our Lord to be true. Because we made this effort in the world, hard work, the grafting we had to do. Today, we go into our graves, we find nothing but bliss and we find nothing but comfort. Today we stand in on the day of judgment, we find nothing but bliss. And lo and behold, we find ourselves in the gardens of paradise. All of this didn't just come on a plate. We had to work for it. We did not just say La ilaha illallah and be sufficient upon this. We reminded ourselves, as Allah said, أَفَحَسِبْتُمْ أَن تَدْخُلُوا الْجَنَّةَ وَلَمَّا يَأْتِكُمْ مَثَلُ الَّذِينَ خَلَوْا مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ. Do you think that you will just say La ilaha illallah and that is it? And we won't test you? Of course we will test you. So as believers, we acknowledge this. And we made the effort, and as a result of which, we found the promise of Allah to be true. And the promise of Allah was what? The promise of Allah was that you make the effort, you try hard in this world, have tawheed and the oneness of Allah, you make juhud, you do amal and salih, good deeds, as a result of which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will enter you into His gardens.